versus Darren Lamar Houston. Your appearance, please.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Andrew Stace on behalf and with Mr. Houston, both appearing and consenting to such via Zoom.
Zoom consent is noted.
And Your Honor, I did review with him his trial rights and the pending charge. We would waive formal reading, ask the Honor to plead not guilty on his behalf, please.
As to the arraignment, formal reading waived and a not guilty, repeat, not guilty plea is entered upon Mr. Houston's behalf. Mr. Houston, this is a protocol that you are well familiar with at this point in your life. You are presumed innocent and you are within this court's jurisdiction. Your next court date will be a probable cause conference. So if you do make your freedom today or any subsequent day, you will be getting a notice directed to the Cape Cod Way address that will tell you how and when to appear for your probable cause conference. You're entitled to a preliminary exam within 21 days of today's date. And if probable cause is either found or waived in this manner, the case will be bound over to the Oakland County Circuit Court for further arraignment, trial, and proceedings. Now, Mr. Houston, as you, I'm sure, are already aware, you are presumed innocent under the constitutions of the state of Michigan and the United States, but the court must set bond in order to ensure your reappearance and to afford any necessary protection for the public. The court takes into account contacts to the community, work life, home life, prior record. And with that, Mr. Stacer, what do you like to share?
Thank you. I would share that Mr. Houston is a disabled veteran suffering from PTSD, depression. He does work at Stellantis, where he's been there for 5+ years, working quality control. And Mr. Houston, just so you know, I related off the record to the judge regarding a personal loss that happened for yourself. Knowing this is on YouTube and being recorded, I did let him know about that. And Your Honor did confirm that he is on a personal bond for the matter that is at the 6th Circuit Court. He assured me that he's always made any of his court appearances, so I don't think he's a flight risk. Obviously, there's a community safety aspect, where also there's a little bit of safety for himself that he needs to take into account. And with that, Your Honor, we just asked for a minimal bond with testing requirements, and that's something Mr. Houston knows is very likely and will do his dangdest to comply with. Right, Mr. Houston?
Yes, sir. And then also, sir, could you tell the judge too that I can get an email address for him? I just have to set one up if the court needs it. I'm sorry for being here today and taking the court's time. I thank you for your representation and for the judge explaining everything, but I will be there for everything. I just want to get my life back on track. I'm already set up for mental health with the VA to help me out with this, for never making a bad decision like this again. It's just that I've been under so much personal stress and everything, not making no excuses, but I apologize to the courts, but I will be wherever I need to be at any time, any day. And you have my word on that, Judge, and you too, sir.
Thank you for your statements. Mr. Stacer, is there anything further you wanted to add?
No, I think in conjunction between he and I, we've covered the meat of it.
All right, very well. Mr. Houston, again, the purpose of bond is not a sentence. You're presumed innocent, but the court is constrained to set a bond that would ensure your reappearance and ensure comportment with the law, protection of the public, at least on a probable cause basis. These circumstances were not helpful in that regard. I've got a criminal history in front of the court here that goes back to 1990. So I've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. I mean, at least 5, 6 felony matters. There's also indicia of resisting, obstructing police and the lawful performance of their duties. It just appears as though While Mr. Houston is a highly intelligent man and is able to get himself comported for certain times and certain moments of the day or night, other moments, not so much. And frankly, Mr. Houston, with everything, with the amount of weight on your shoulders all the way around, you're obviously not making healthy choices in terms of how you're carrying that weight. You've got a sentencing pending in the Sixth Circuit, and yet here we are. And I'm sure the magistrates or district and circuit judges on that matter implored you to keep it together.
And yes, and with all due respect, Your Honor.
That was a statement. That wasn't a request for a rebuttal. So these are your bond conditions, Mr. Houston. You are to appear as directed for all your future dates. You're to abide any valid order or judgment entered in this case. You're not to leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. Please don't commit any additional crimes while you're on a release status. Notify the court in writing of any change of address, telephone, or email. You will be making reports to pretrial services. They are going to supervise your release, since the court obviously doesn't have any confidence in his previous pretrial service regimen in terms of keeping him safe during his release on his other matters. We're going to do one from this court. Do not use alcohol, marijuana, or any other controlled substance. You will be participating in a substance abuse testing or monitoring program. Did I indicate no possession of weapons? As well, you are not to enter the following premises: bars, clubs, liquor stores, or any business premises in the cities of Royal Oak and Berkeley. There will be no release without a GPS tether. There will be 5 random SoberLink tests per day and 3 controlled substance tests per month. You will participate in a treatment program as indicated. You suggested through the VA, Mr. Stacer?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
So he will participate through the VA in a treatment program for any issues that he is confronting at this time. And given everything that's arrayed before the court is going to set bond in the amount of $40,000 cash or surety, no 10% at this time. Are there any questions?
Sir, Your Honor, I don't have, I don't have $40,000.
That well may be, sir.
The
court didn't base its decision on whether you had it or not. The court is basing its decision upon the aforementioned facts and circumstances, which were detailed quite clearly. If the consequence is that you do not have your freedom at this time, that well may be. But this court did not author those circumstances, sir. Your previous record and your current pending matters did. Are there any further matters for the court related to this case, Mr. Stacer?
Mr. Stacer, Your Honor, can I, Attorney Stacer?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so distraught right there, and I'm sorry for the judge, but.
Mr. Houston, the court has ruled. The court is not going to, this court is not sitting as a court of appeals. The court has made a ruling. At your probable cause conference, you may be able to convince Judge Kowakowski to review this bond, but at this time, that is the bond as it is set. Is there anything further, gentlemen?
Yeah, but I'm not understanding something. What about me having to go to my other court dates at the same time? I'm at my job. I have a job.
You will be able to appear for your other court dates because they will know where to retrieve you. As for your employment, sir, that is a real world consequence that perhaps should have been given more thought before the events of 7/28. Is there anything further, gentlemen?
Yes, Attorney Stacer.
Yes.
Attorney Stacer, is can I get your telephone number or something?
Your Honor,
whatever?
could you put us in a breakout room and I'll get some info, so if you gotta contact somebody, I can do that,
Certainly,
Please.
gentlemen.
please.
Man, that's. Oh my God.
Good luck, sir.